All right, guys, here I talk about the movie Harpoon, Whale Watching Massacre.
Yeah.
So
I was not looking at the box. I think you had the box while it was on, and I did not know what we were in for at all. In fact,
why would you?
All I knew was Harpoon.
Yes, Whale Watching Massacre is in smaller print.
And the intro is stock footage of whaling. So I was like, what is happening here? And then, like, as if to further taunt me, the cards that come up are the Icelandic International Film Association or something like that. And I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
What are we doing? And then luckily, after what seems like minutes, because it is minutes, we come into like, oh, it's a movie. Okay, good. And it's a horror movie.
Some of those black and white photos,
Massacre.
though, are kind of fascinating.
Oh, no,
wow,
big time.
whaling was crazy.
Yes.
I'm glad they don't do it anymore, but it was really
No. There's like, I actually had the thought, now that we're talking about it more deeply, like, not that I want to see this gory, horrible stuff, but standing there must have been so freaky. The whale is so big.
It's so big, yeah.
And dudes are like, they have like sharp shovels and they're like scraping off chunks of whale, giant chunks of whale the size of like throw rugs are just falling off the whale, like the blubber and stuff. That's crazy.
It's very crazy.
I could not, and like, I never will, hopefully, because we stopped doing that, but that would have been such a striking thing to be like on the docks and watching dudes attack.
I've never been near a whale.
Corpse.
So I've never been on a boat and seen a whale, or seen like killer whales, I think, at like maybe SeaWorld or something.
You go see a show or something,
You don't get the full scope when you see like a fucking like sperm whale or whatever the fuck these fuckers are. They're gigantic.
And then like carving it up and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Never seen that before.
Yeah.
I had seen the trailer for this movie.
Oh, you've been spoiled
That's
horribly.
what made me go out and hunt for this.
Excellent.
Yes.
You
did
us right.
Yeah, I found this one for I think $2 on eBay and had to bring it to the store.
Perfect.
So this one, I was like, all right. The trailer did frame it up a little differently than I think it ultimately ended up.
What were they misdirecting us into thinking?
I thought Gunnar was part of the bad guys, not just the captain of the whaling vessel that goes out.
Okay.
So and that was a draw for him. I'm like, all right, I like him. He was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I didn't know who he was at all.
He was in Brutal Massacre. So I'm like, I like him in multiple directions. As a horror guy, as a comedy guy, he's funny. So I was like, we'll see what he goes into this one.
Doesn't do a lot.
He's not in it very much at all.
Yeah.
They just used the name drop and they got it out. So the movie's premise is they've outlawed whaling. This is in Norway, right?
Oh no, Iceland.
Iceland?
Is Iceland Norway?
I don't know. I'm American.
I'm an
here.
ugly
How's it
American.
going? So they've outlawed whaling. You have
Dutch?
people whose family were former whalers, and they are upset now that these sissies have come in. They've made it so we can't do this anymore. And they come in, they're tourists, and they look at whales and whatever.
Greenpeace.
And
you know what I call them? Green piss.
Yeah. Best joke ever.
Yeah.
They said it in the movie.
No, I'm quoting the movie.
That's
That's
direct
not my
quote,
joke.
people.
That's a quote.
I'm gonna say that was Lee's joke.
That's not my joke.
That's his personal joke. So at the movie itself, I'm like, okay, this is cool. You have this family of ex-whalers that are hunting tourists because they hate everything they stand for. I'm like, that could be good.
It is a like rednecks in the woods don't like that, now stuff's different and you're like on their turf and they're making you pay plot, but with whaling as the backdrop.
Yeah, no, it was something unique that I hadn't seen before.
So like you're trapped on a boat. Everything has the weird vibe, right? It's more claustrophobic and different, right? As opposed to being trapped in the woods where you're like, just run in like a direction,
and it's a big enough boat that there still is running.
Of course.
It's not like they're on a dinghy. They're on like, a whaling vessel, a vessel capable of like, I guess picking up a whale. I don't even know how they got the whale. I guess they just towed it to the the shore. They couldn't have lifted it up. It's too fucking big.
Don't even
whaling,
know.
Fascinating.
Whaling. Let's watch more stock footage about whaling. No, I just mean like it's a nice, interesting spin on like that given premise. I want to say
because there's a lot of things where I'm like, I like that concept, and you can just keep rewrapping a concept, and I'll probably keep watching it.
Exactly.
Like, and that's what I've been saying about zombies for years. I'm like, no, do zombies here, and then do it there, and do it here. Like, show me different things. They keep doing the same thing.
Exactly. No, and this was a cool angle. Like, horror is not my favorite genre, and I've seen a lot of like your Wrong Turns and like your other movies where it's like crazy and like I always say rednecks, but the idea is that like there's people that are isolated and they have traditions. They could be cultists. They could be a Swedish death cult in like the woods, They could be like straight up rednecks. They could be like even Texas Chainsaw Massacre is isolated, crazy, evil, like bad people. And as people randomly encounter them, they go, "Woohoo! We got some fun today!" And they do, and it's this terrifying thing. No one likes being lost. No one likes being like the outsider and seeing like, wait, what's going on here, right? And now you're trapped on a boat.
Yeah,
it's like far worse.
No, and the ocean itself is terrifying.
I know.
Just on its own. Like, if you just were trapped on the ocean, I'd be like, well, that's horrifying.
Yes.
But yeah, to have somebody who is pursuing you, and you went from, like, like out of the fire into the flames, you're like, oh, damn, this is... Whoa.
Exactly.
So what did you think about this movie?
Oh, so watching it, I was, like, not having a very good time. But then after it finished, I think I kind of liked the way that it ended.
Sure.
And then in the days since then, I've become more and more fond of it.
Okay.
I kind of got this like thing where like they put in every, like, I'm not sure if it's because it's like foreign or whatever, because like this is a foreign movie. I don't know, like it's not all in like the other language, but some of it is, and like subtitled, and it's obviously filmed somewhere and they're doing something or whatever, Icelandic Film Association. So like it has this weird aesthetic where I can't tell if like they just saw a bunch of like American horror movies or if it's like intentional or just accidental or whatever, but they seem to have put every trope in this movie.
There's a lot happening in this movie.
Crazy, to like a crazy degree, where that became the enjoyment for me.
No, I thought it was good. The only thing that really fell a little short for me, and it's honestly hard to do the part that annoyed me, right, is that they do include so much. There's like a Japanese couple or family, I should say, not just a couple, and they're speaking, Japanese.
Yes.
There's people from this area, wherever they are, Norway, Iceland,
I wish we knew
whatever.
more about the world. I apologize to everyone.
And they're speaking their language. You have Americans speaking their language. There's a French guy who is speaking French and with an accent, and then all the people. There's two German girls. They're speaking with accents. Yes. There's a lot of language happening here, and some of it can be a little difficult to understand.
A lot of it's dubbed. A lot of it's weird.
And that's really
mixing.
the only place this falls flat for me.
Definitely.
I think overall the script seemed fine.
I think that added to the charm for me, where
it made me pay attention more.
That's what made me not react to it the way, like if this movie were made yesterday and it was full of CG and like very like just like everyone's young for some reason and it's not right. It was like one of those movies. I think I would have actually hated it.
But this was the exact opposite. I'm glad you mentioned like if they were all young.
Right.
So it's not that. It's a great cast.
We're like
in the
ugly
sense that
people.
There's people that represent all the things that would go whale watching. It doesn't feel like oh, it's spring break on a whale boat, which is a lot of movies, not necessarily spring break on a whale boat, but it's usually like 20-something beautiful people, all of them. Oh, there's like the fat guy and the nerdy guy and the whatever, like
the stoners, and the cool
girl. There are no real tropes here as far as the characters go.
Even in like the happy stuff before everything goes to hell, you've got like cougars and they don't like the Japanese person, and there's like the French guy and he's coming on to her and she doesn't like him, and there's all these weird stuff. It's not like slow motion like butt shots and like we're all happy or whatever. It's still like this kind of sucks. Is it going to rain today? I don't know. Like it's not like a night and day type of thing.
And there was not a ton of like, why are you doing that? Like a lot of movies have that, and that makes me sad. The only one of those that happened was the French gentleman who starts off this whole massacre essentially by being a drunk idiot. He falls, breaking a part of the mast and impaling the captain. Spoilers.
Essentially harpooning the captain. Oh, so should we say before maybe have we spoiled anything besides that? Would we recommend this movie to the people?
I would.
I would say yes.
So this is from 2009, and I feel like it and it's not only 9 years old. It's not like it's crazy old, but it holds up, I think, very well.
It's interesting, It's a good mix of different practical and physical effects. There's sets, there's real stuff. This is not something I think we even have to qualify too much. I think watching it and just taking it for what it is.
If you have a problem with language, and I know that's like a lot of people's like. That can be a strike dramatically. Where if people aren't just all speaking English, if there's any dub, some people are just out. I'd say like that would be your line. You probably won't enjoy this as much as other people. If you have a difficulty understanding accents, this could be a troublesome area for you. But if you're going with this open mind and you're like good with movies and voices stuff, it's very, very entertaining. It has a lot of interesting things, things you've not seen before.
Yeah, well, and like just how many things they pack in.
Oh,
but it's not like a Hot
Shots. Soup to nuts. It's got a lot of shit happening.
And it's not like a Hot Shots like parody of a horror movie.
No. It's a straight up movie.
Weird. It's like very interesting to me. I found it to be very, because they weren't like, you think this is gonna happen and then that like everything felt very much like everything's just going to shit over and over again, right?
And characters do things that like, and I said earlier that there's no character doing stupid things, but characters doing things that I'm like, I would not have expected you to do that,
right?
And it's amazing. So like, we're past the point now. If you're gonna see it, go see it.
Yes, I was gonna say.
If you're still with us, we're gonna spoil some stuff right now.
Just to give people the opportunity to say, at the end of the day, we're gonna say to watch
that is an important thing to do.
Sure.
If you need a place to rent content, you better listen. We're Cannibal Video and we eat the competition.
So like, just to jump to like pretty much the end here for a moment.
That was wonderful.
When the whales showed up, or at least a whale, I was like, this is amazing.
This is crazy.
Because they're clearly cutting like footage they purchased or something. I don't think they filmed anything actually of the whale. But they cut it together really well
done.
where it actually did feel like there's a whale there.
Our last two girls, who I was getting confused for part of the movie, I mixed them up or whatever.
Yeah, they had some similar qualities.
I felt like a boomer at this point. I was like, seriously, like, because for like 20 years we've been like, oh, too many blue characters, we have to give her a Nightcrawler just because people are idiots. Like, give your audience more credit. In the first thing where she's like running, I'm like, well, didn't she already get to the boat? Why are you running for the boat again?
Oh, I wasn't
what's
confused
going on?
then. It was once they started getting wet and bloody, I got confused.
Yeah. I was only confused in the beginning, and then later
Did you get jarred by the fact that she like makes that like athletic jump, but then busts her knee so hard?
Shit.
I was like, oh, they're setting up that she's gonna be an athlete, and then I was like,
nothing happens.
Just didn't want to miss that boat.
There's not even any setup about her being injured. It just seems to be nothing.
Yeah. Well,
anyway.
A knee shot like that, as a man who's sustained many in his life, hurts a lot when you first do it, and then you're kind of okay.
Okay. I don't know why it's in there then. Whatever.
Well, I think to show the daring nature of how far this woman's willing to go to see whales.
At the end, our main girl and our other girl, who's a total cunt, are both on the boat, on the raft, whatever you want to call it.
The escape raft.
And they get attacked by a killer whale. Like, it's not just about whale watching. There's not just stock footage of a whale in the beginning.
No,
we actually get a whale
action
in the thing.
And I was like, that was a moment where I stood back and I was like, oh, this movie might be amazing, actually.
Yeah.
You did remind me, though, of the one part that did happen uncharacteristic that I hate, that's a movie thing.
I was afraid that you were not going to like this movie.
No, I enjoyed it. Because, again, so many things happen here.
Yeah, cool.
So something I didn't like. So our main male protagonist does the whole, no, you go, I'll stay here.
You two leave. I'll stay behind. Wait for the Coast Guard.
No, please come with us.
It's not safe. It's safe in there, out there.
And I was like, come on, man. Like, why'd you do that?
Yeah.
And it ultimately did not really pay off for him very well. He gets, and I like that he got shot by the police.
It's wonderful.
They like, they're shouting to him repeatedly to like, put down your weapon. Do this
It's
stuff.
a very realistic and like interesting situation.
And he doesn't do it. He does think he's in the right.
Yeah. He either can't hear them or like doesn't know what's going on or whatever, right? And then he gets shot. I love planting the seeds because there is some subtitled N-word in this movie.
Oh yeah,
where the bad guys are talking about.
There's racism for sure.
Yeah,
I always wonder how that pans.
Like you kill the girl, I will kill the N-word, and they go off and do that. So that was planting the seed where I was like, is this just that they're so bad? Are all Icelanders subtly racist?
I wonder if they even understand it the same way we understand it here, though. But
then when the cops show up and they shoot the black guy, I was kind of like, oh crap, or something. Not that I'm saying that all people from Iceland are racist.
He was the guy with the gun.
Yes, it's perfect.
And our bad guy's there on his knees.
Yep.
So he does come off as innocent.
So they think
there's no way he got away, though, because that boat's totally in his name. I love that they shot a guy with a harpoon early on in the movie.
Yeah.
Bring him up to the boat and leave him there. And that was something I thought right away. I was like, does nobody pass by this boat? I'm like, I guess you're out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. I go, but would you risk that? I wouldn't risk it. I would take him off because at that point they were still in control. They hadn't even lost, what do you call them? The prisoners at that moment.
The
you could have easily
yes.
pulled him in or left them in the water. You probably wouldn't see him bobbing in the water.
Yeah.
But he's just floating there.
Yeah.
That was a mistake.
Well, like, logically, he was, like, exposing himself, but they kind of, like, directed them there at first and then picked them up and brought them the rest of the way. They might be in this weird place where they know nobody goes type of thing, where they just leave their boat hanging out.
They did bait them. They told them that's where the whales were. And they were right.
But that's an awesome thing, too, where the guy's like, this is kind of embarrassing. Is anybody out there? Oh, hi, yeah. We're not seeing any whales. I'm doing, like, a whale thing. And they're like, head northwest here. And he's like, oh, thanks, buddy. And then it turns out that's their, like, trap thing or whatever.
No, I really enjoyed that whole bit. I thought it's a little loose of a premise that they just like, we just killed tourists. Oh.
No, it is.
I would have liked them to be filming it for snuff or something, like made this into their job.
I wanted them to be cannibals because in the beginning they're eating really weird sausage.
Já, bróðir minn. Einu sinni voru Íslendingar víkingar.
Which is probably normal Icelandic sausage.
Maybe.
And when they throw the one guy over, I was like, are they not cannibals? Is the whole point of this not to be cannibals?
I had never thought they were cannibals. I didn't know I thought they might reveal what the point was.
Yes.
I thought in some way they were making money off it.
I thought
they're the whales now.
That's exactly how I took it. They are the whales now, so they need to be butchered and like whatever or whatever.
And it could be as simple as like, oh, we steal their shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they're tourists, they have money. They probably keep it with them at all times.
That's like the metaphor in play here, is like they are making money off of the whale watchers who are making money off the whales, just like they used to make money off the whales directly. It's this like thing or whatever.
I don't see, there's a problem here, is that you can't keep killing boats full of whale watchers.
In theory, yes.
And I wonder if the captain was ever in on it.
Yes.
Because you had that beginning bit.
When you said he's not a bad guy, I was like, I'm not sure he wasn't a bad guy. Yeah.
But you could infer maybe that the captain was originally a bad guy, but there's nothing that concretely states that.
It's never like
there is the guy who's
whatever.
selling their wares, their carved whale things.
Oh God.
$6.
No, thank you.
And he's faking a mental illness.
Yes.
And then like when they got on the boat, he's like good luck, bitch, or some shit like that.
Good luck, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Sayonara, shitheads.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, okay. So he was in on it, but I'm like, but what did he actually do? Nothing.
Understand this though. Like when I say every trope's in this movie, right? A dude's pretending to be special needs in the beginning.
Yes.
That they then run into later. Except he's at a lighthouse. They're in the water. It makes no sense for this to happen. And like he's there to like trap people that get off the boat. Like that doesn't make any sense.
I don't know if that's what he's there for either.
So that means he just coincidentally lives there.
And the whole family lives there, I think.
And the Japanese woman and like the French guy don't even recognize him from the beginning of the movie. Or if they do, they don't think it's weird that he's there.
There's nothing like a burnt cocoa. Excuse me, I forget the cream.
It's insane, but that's what I mean. And like people's heads are getting chopped off. It's this beautiful thing. Right? And we even get the moment where like the Japanese lady sees the pictures and like realizes that he's a part of the redneck family.
Yeah.
Right? Every single horror movie trope for movies of this type gets like introduced here. It's amazing.
I think you could have done this a little bit better. My twist, my little like, screen edit here, would have been that he's handing out brochures for whale watching in the beginning, not selling fake whales.
Weird whales.
And, and then like, then the same bit when they go off, good luck, motherfuckers, like would have been fine, and it would have made a little sense.
Yeah.
But it's a little strange though, because I'm like, why is he undercover? Is that just how does he sell more things?
Listen,
when he's stalking ladies.
As largely an outsider to the horror genre, that feels dead on. Because usually you're like, why was he faking a limp? That doesn't make any sense. So like she wouldn't feel threatened. Like she's running from a guy with a chainsaw. What's going on? Like everything always feels like loose like that and weird. So all this felt like perfect to me. I'm like, yeah, of course. And when the guy harpoons the guy, I still got it. Like that's exactly the stupid like rednecks are doing the thing. Let's turn it into a game. Let's make it a competition.
All that was
There's
great.
so much great stuff.
It's just
in this
that
movie.
I thought like whenever there's a writing issue, that I'm like, oh, it wasn't location based. It wasn't like, oh, the actor can't pull that off, or oh, they don't have a physical guy that can do that. Like I'm like, it was just writing. It was words. You could have just said words there, and it would have solved the problem.
Good done different thing. Yeah.
I'm like, you carved a whole bunch of fake whales. You didn't have to do that.
You could have skipped all that.
Yeah, it's a little strange.
Well, you gotta go to the printer and print the brochures. The whole.
It's a lot cheaper
than carving whales.
But I like it. There was like nothing that really brought me out of the moment enough that I was like, I hate.
But that's what I mean. I can't tell whether they said we got to make a long list of everything that's ever been in a horror movie and put it in ours, or if this is just earnestly like it just felt like them like there should. It
didn't strike me
like there should be this like sinister like there you go motherfucker like that should happen, and then later you should see him so the audience goes he's the bad guy no like that just needs to happen though like internally, right? It's so weird to put that in there, right?
Yeah.
And like I could say that about so many things in the movie. It's so amazing.
I didn't. None of it struck me as like, oh, we're trying to make the best, most complete style of horror movie.
Yeah.
I was just like, yep, that's how those Norwegians do it.
It felt like, and I'm probably like projecting this due to the foreignness, where they were like, we're gonna make our own movie and we're gonna do all the cool stuff that we like in all the other movies in our movie.
Oh no, that's probably true.
Yeah, exactly.
I think when you go to a place that doesn't make as many movies, that like the ones they do make are going to be heavily influenced by things they've seen.
Yeah.
And where do most movies come from? I feel like here.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're kind of biased, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. This is like, oh, like American horror movies or whatever. And you're like, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So she has to turn out to be like a badass assassin lady or something.
So speaking of which, so like the only survive. So hey, before we get to the only surviving
Should we do it in
of
order?
the group of Asians, there's another like she works for them. She's like their assistant or something.
She's like their Alfred.
The father of the family, he dies by harpoon.
He books it. He's swimming. Wearing a vest. Yeah.
But then you have the girl, and like she said, like they're speaking, and like
we must kill them all. Yes, we must kill them all.
You're like your grandfather was great kamikaze or something. She says. And I'm
More like weird racism.
In my head, I was like, kamikaze, that's the right word for what you want to do right now? And then like a second later, I'm like, oh, she meant kamikaze. She like, strapped her up and like exploded her.
She makes her like a suicide bomb vest and pushes her at one of the rednecks and then books or whatever. And then the lady's laughing and lighting like a flammable rag.
Very strange.
I don't want to be too woke about this, but that's another example of weird. Like the French guy at one point says like "ooh la la" or something like that.
Ooh la la. Merci. Thank you for watching.
Who's the idiot?
Like it's extremely, not that I'm like offended by it, but it feels like a weird second-hand, third-hand, foreign translated interpretation of like stereotypes and things.
And it might be
because it feels like 80s, or like late,
it
whatever
had
style.
a bit of that.
But it's
feel.
in 2009.
Sure.
It was okay, but just as like a heads up, I guess there's a lot of this weird like stuff going on in there.
You say weird, I say interesting.
Yeah, no.
I think that's
like
what.
That further added to it too, where like it. Like I don't want to say that I think that they did this, but it feels like a recreation of like all these things. It feels like Be Kind, Rewind. We have to remake the movie, but only with whatever we have, and we're not sure what to call black people, so we're going to do this, right? And it's weird. It's so interesting to me, and I don't want to know more because that will ruin some of like the mystique for me or something like that. But that's where I got a lot of my enjoyment from it. Is like, wow, they're also doing this. Like the one bad guy who actually does have some sort of disability is going to sacrifice the German girl to like, oh, it's like a sacrifice to the All-Father to get rid of my hump or something like that. We're like, wait, he's doing occult stuff too? Like everything is in this movie. It's crazy. It makes no sense. That's why we go to the kitchen, there's a big boiling pot, and there's like in there. And there's eyeballs or something, right? I wanted cannibalism to be an angle there.
I would have appreciated that. Not wanted it necessarily, but I would have appreciated it because then at least it would have been like, okay, that's why they're doing this. That makes sense. But like when you first are starting, when they're first taking off to go hunt this new whale watching vessel, they're like finishing off killing a guy from the last one. So I was like, oh, it's just what they do.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like a crime of opportunity. This is what they do.
Right.
And So to get back on track with the last remaining of the Asian group.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, she kills the lighthouse keeper guy.
She kills him with chopsticks too, getting back to that weird insensitivity angle of it or whatever. She like kills him in the neck with chopsticks or something crazy. Or I'm like,
he's still alive, I think. When
he was breathing because they didn't have a good like dead look.
Well, he's slowly dying.
He's bleeding out.
He's bleeding out. She's flying out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right. And then like the plane flies over and we see our last remaining person from the boat. The other girl in the boat, there's two of them surviving.
Yeah.
And one of them, they're being attacked by the whale, stabs the whale, and it ends up taking her and the boat down with it.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus Christ.
So the whale dives, and the whole life raft gets like destroyed or whatever. And then the main girl, the girl we started out with, is just bobbing in the water there, all alone.
Yep.
Everything is gone or whatever.
I actually felt bad for her. Not at the very end.
Yeah.
I felt bad for her when she got through to her friend on the phone, and the friend's like, listen, when you're tripping out, I can't talk to you, and hangs up on her. I'm like,
damn.
Oh.
I'm a prisoner on this whaleboat. They are killing us.
Anna, get a grip on yourself, okay?
No, we're in this fjord somewhere. The whalers are mad. They've gone mad. They called the Coast Guard and tell them to come rescue us.
You know that I don't like talking to you when you're spaced out on E.
The reason I really felt bad was I'm like, her friend may never know she's dead. I'm like, I want her to feel bad. I want her to know she wasn't tripping out, that this was actually something happening, and you fucked up.
I'm hoping the Coast Guard can help with that, but yes.
I wonder, are they even looking?
I don't know.
I don't think they're even looking.
Who knows what's going on anymore?
I wonder if you approached a boat and there was murders and stuff on it, and you saw the raft was missing. Would that be enough? Would you assume it had a raft?
So in my head, I expected it to end with like the next day, almost like some other movies end, where like it's the next day, the Coast Guard gets her, and she's like, "Oh, this is crazy! I have to tell everybody about it." And they're like, "No, you don't, bitch." Because like they're
in on it too?
not like in on it, but they're like complicit in it, or they're like, we have to cover this up or something, and that's the terror ending. Because she really shouldn't be bobbing there because the Coast Guard was there when it was still dark out to shoot the other guy, so they should have been right there. So whatever.
Well, the current could have taken them far away. Who's to say?
I'm to say. She was bobbing there motionless. It's fine.
They
zoom out and there's nothing there, and last night boats didn't see her, but that was at night. So yeah, I understand. We're meant to think that she's just going to starve to death out there in the water.
I wouldn't have minded seeing a whale fin, like,
oh no,
oh my God, more whales!
Well, but I like everybody being killed in like a different way. That's something else too. Literally, I don't think any two people die the same way.
No,
it's not like one dude is like macheteing everybody. It's it's all situational. It's crazy.
You got hammer. The hammer?
Yeah.
He fucking swings a hammer into her brain.
Yep.
That's a hit.
And that's how everything opens.
Yeah.
And then everyone scatters, and it's a whole chaotic clusterfuck, and that's amazing. It's not this crazy thing where people just know what to do. It's like,
it felt pretty good.
Some people hide, some people run, some people try to fight. Like it's like beautiful. It's actually great. This movie's actually great.
I should look up this director and see if they've done anything else.
Yeah.
Maybe another movie night.
They've never done anything ever again.
Potentially not. I get a feeling like that where I'm like, this was a one and done. Someone lived the dream.
Exactly. No, yeah, even the like gratuitous nudity, because we see her taking off her shirt, and it's like very, very quick, and I'm like, that girl's contract doesn't say we can't show some titty, and then later we see more titty, and it's gross. He's like rubbing it, it's all this crazy thing, right? Even that fits right in. And she like gets out of her stuff and she's still naked and she's panicking and wiping herself off and trying to call her friend. Like it's very like feels like could have been lifted out of so many other movies. It's like a perfect thing.
No,
but we're on a whaling boat.
Sure.
Right? And usually we say that, but I mean that here. It's so dead on with some of these things, and they're all just one after the other. There's like no filler. There's no bullshit.
This movie like had a great amount of people that could die. So
Yeah.
like some movies suffer from like, well, there's only 4 characters. Maybe
Right.
you're going to kill 2 of those. But if you do it in the beginning, I know no one's dying for quite some time.
Exactly.
In this one, there's a lot of like, you know, like extras, a lot of people that can die. Like, oh, all the old ladies, they're dead. Oh, they're dead. Like, yeah, a good amount. Like,
and they like
Jurassic
pad
Park
it out.
3 sucked for me because I was like, well, there's only that small plane, and you killed all the people that could die in the very beginning. No one else could die.
He's the
There's
main
no
guy,
fear.
and he's here to save him. So that's it.
Yeah.
One more guy can die, and he dies. Yeah.
So like this, I was like, all right.
Yeah.
And to the very end, I'm like, I don't know who the main character is. Everyone could die. And
Exactly.
more or less, everyone does.
I thought the German girl was the main character, but you know, who knows who the main character is? To your point, yes, I think she still is. But yes,
She is.
Right, but the point is, she ends up dying to or like left for dead or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, I love that sort of subversion or like twist of like the other person getting away, the like capable person who turns out has whatever training or whatever.
Yeah.
She's like Alfred. She's like I have multiple skills and I'm going to use them to get out of this situation. Right?
Oh, it was
Yeah.
nice. I like seeing people behave smartly and pay off. I hate
Exactly.
when someone like, oh, he did everything right and he still died. Oh
You
man,
still
because that makes me think I would die.
Because you would do everything right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because it's easy to watch a horror movie and go,
perfect.
idiot, that's why you died. Because pick up the knife.
Yeah.
But when someone like, oh, that guy had a gun and a knife. Oh,
He still
and he
died.
still died.
Yeah.
Shit.
Exactly. Oh yeah, a lot of cringy dialogue. I really hated the other girl, but you're supposed to.
Which other girl?
So there's 2 girls.
Oh,
that I
the one that was back at
confused.
the party with the band?
No,
Oh.
the other blonde girl.
Oh, the one that dies by the whale.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly. She has a lot. She makes a lot of horrible choices because she's ruthlessly rude and like bitchy and horrible and can't let anybody else do anything ever. I thought the whole thing with like her and the black dude and then him and then him being gay.
I think you are. I think I really like you. What did I do wrong?
Nothing. Nothing at all. It's just that I'm gay.
All that stuff was super weird, but again, it kind of fell into the campiness, and I kind of was okay with it and liked it because that's the kind of dumb stuff. Not exactly that, but similar things or whatever. And that's very 2009. It's more like 2004 to be like, oh, we're falling in love during the horror movie. I'm gay, bitch, and that whole thing like that's like okay, there you go. Like all that stuff fit for me. I wasn't like whatever, but it's very quick, and there's not a lot of like some stuff does suffer from like the pace of how quickly we're going through stuff. I didn't feel like a romance building with them or something like that. So,
what do you think was the best death?
Oh man.
There's a lot of fun deaths in this, and best could be taken in a lot of ways, I suppose.
Yes.
Like the one I felt for the most was the old lady in a can.
Oh yeah.
She like makes a little noise, and the person sees her. I'm like, oh god. And she got to get out of the can. She didn't die in the can.
Yeah.
But she died.
That was a good sequence too, where she's like, "An old woman can enjoy her kill. Sing for me, bitch." And she's
Yeah.
like,
No, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, this woman's crazy.
and it kept going, like so many things like that, where you would cut away.
Yeah.
They just like I don't know if they didn't know that you can just hint at something and cut away, but they never really
I
do.
thought it was powerfully done
Yeah,
the
it
way
was
it
good
was
times.
that I was like, all right.
Yeah.
And then like ultimately that lady gets like stabbed in the back through her into like the Asian.
Oh,
lady.
everything
Like,
explodes and
Oh
all that
wow,
stuff.
that's
That's probably the most outlandish. I
And then
guess
like
the
she's
Harpoon
not
was
dead.
cool.
She's like just burned horribly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the old lady and stuff like that. Yeah, a lot of the bad guys. And not in like a supernatural way, in like a realistic way. Like it's kind of hard to kill people, especially with like the kind of things movies usually use to kill people.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like and stuff happening when he's crawling with his stupid eye wound and all that
Yeah.
horrible stuff. When he reaches up and touches it and it's all like gooey and all that stuff. Like it's terrifying, and there's a lot of screaming and horribleness.
Oh
right?
yeah, no,
Which
you
there
would be
should
freaking out. Your
Yes.
eyeball would be like,
No, and that's very, very whatever. But again, like depending on how much horror you want to show, yeah, I don't like when people instantly die from random or falling off of stuff where you're like you wouldn't die from that or whatever. Yeah. Not that it has to be perfectly realistic, but it has to be something. So when that guy was still alive, I'm like yes, and he's just alive enough to let the guy who's still ready to go out of like the hold or whatever that he was in. I'm like okay, damn. Yeah.
The flip side is when movies do something where it's like, oh yeah, that would kill that guy instantly, but they don't like cut away from it. They show you like horrible detail, and you're like, all right,
totally dead.
Didn't know that was what your movie was about. I love it.
He lost more blood than people even have, so he's dead.
Yeah.
And then later he's like, "Fuck you," and like shoots the guy, and you're like, "What?" Yeah.
No, that's a trope. Where I'm like, come on.
No, but this movie like walked the line pretty good. Like I said, while watching it, for some reason, I was not really enjoying myself.
But it grew on you.
But like, yeah, it grew on me like after watching it. I remember thinking back to it and being like, that movie was awesome or whatever. So it like
I had qualms
added to me.
in the very early on when I was wondering what the language scenario how was going to
Oh,
play
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah.
But then it quickly seemed to write itself, and I was like, no, this is fine. It's all good.
Yeah.
Like was wondering about. I'm like, is this going to be weirdly dubbed, or things are going to be different words? But it was fine.
Yeah. I thought it really avoids like ending or having stuff start happening where you're like, okay, now this is ridiculous or whatever, right?
Yeah.
They really maintain like a steady.
There's a lot of like, oh man, you can't catch a break kind of shit. Where you're like, fuck, dude.
Exactly.
Like that. Oh, that's right. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
No one lost really any fingers and stuff.
That's what you want.
That's what you need.
Fingers to lose or whatever.
Yeah. So you'd recommend this movie? I recommend this movie.
This is like a weird sort of hidden gem. It feel like being foreign and like not as old as it feels like makes it this weird like gem where like it gets through a lot of my filters of like not a real movie, bullshit, what's the point, F this, right? It makes it through a lot of that where I'm like, I enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, no, very much so.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
If you want to support the show, head over to cannibalvideo.com, pick up some merch.
And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's something.
Whatever.
Fuck these motherfuckers.
Whoa, whoa,